Hi, Joe Cerrone.
Al Rosen.
Welcome to CAD 117, Intermediate AutoCAD, in our weekly Zoom meeting.
We're going to be talking about lab module 5 on here. Last week we have a video of the last week's meeting. You go down a little further to see this. Oh, too far. Come on up a little bit more, a little bit more. There we go. There we go. And there's links on Mod 5 videos and PDFs right below it. This is lab number 5A and lab number 5B. Those are the videos right above it and right below there. And if you go down over here, this is chapter PowerPoint there. Let's go to the PowerPoint real quick. This is PowerPoint PDF, please, right there, Joe. Up one, there we go.
Great. So we're going to be looking at mechanical design projects in Chapter 5. And then in Chapter 6, we'll go into architectural design projects. And essentially, we're focusing on dimensioning this week. And so what I like about the technical drawing book is that we're going to teach you the standards for technical drawing, not just what we think. And so as we look at it, we're going to look at differences between size and location dimensions, dimension terminology, and this is our big one right here, ASME Y14.5, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, when somebody says, well, how did you learn how to lay out these mechanical drawings and what standard are you using? You can tell we're using American Society of Mechanical Engineers standard. And so they're the ones that are setting this up. And so we'll take a look at these PowerPoints. And I think what we'll do is we'll go through our 10-minute video on Zoom, and then we'll make a second recording and go through the chapter PowerPoints, Al.
Sounds great.
So this week, we're focusing on mechanical drawings. We have two mechanical drawings for you. 5A. Whoops. That's the tutorial. And it always seems to do this when I go into my, there we go. Let's go, here it is, 5A. Open. This is a drawing with ordinal dimensions. And so we have to set the UCS icon or 0 coordinate at the lower left-hand corner of this part. Because as we go through and we create these different dimensions, everything is relative to a 0 component. And it's a great way to dimension for manufacturing because guys that are on the shop floor can locate the center of this point very quickly. X coordinate 4.375, Y coordinate 3.375. I can program that into my machine tool, and I can know where all my components are, or at least all my coordinates are. And so being able to work with ordinal dimensions is a great way to be able to make the job of the guys on the shop floor who run these parts on CNC machines easier. That's 5A. There is a video for 5A, so if we go and we look at that, we play it. So this is before we got into YouTube. This is a D2L. We started using YouTube because we were told we'd get in trouble if we didn't have closed captioning. And closed captioning is a lot of work to put into it, at least the way we have it here at the college. But if you upload them to YouTube, it'll close caption them for you. So Al and I made that move to YouTube. But here's the user coordinate system. That's the 0 location. I like to put a node there or a point on the title blocks. And then I'll go through and I'll just grab that point and start creating the geometry for it. So I'll take you through how to do the geometry for that. And then we'll go through how to set up dimension heights. And so this is where we get into standardization. Text height for dimensions should be 1/8 of an inch high according to ASME Y14.5. And so we'll also go through and continue to work with these standards. And then I'm putting on these ordinal dimensions by using the ordinal dimensioning tool And you can see I'm going to put on the vertical ones first, I believe. I'm probably talking too much. There they are. And then I'll go through and I'll put another vertical. Here's another vertical dimension. And I think you guys get the idea. But ordinal dimensioning is a great technique for mechanical drawings. And we're tying everything into the dimension styles. All right, 5B. 5B is a mechanical drawing that we're going to model. And so we'll make the top view and the front view according to the standards. And then we'll show you how to create a three-dimensional model of that. And if you want to, just let us know. We'll 3D print you apart. No problem. We're getting all that set up as well. But again, you know, we want to go through and be able to create drawings according to standards. Be able to understand hole geometry. If you're not a mechanical engineer, you'll get to learn a little bit about it. But essentially, the CAD geometry is important, or your components will not fit together. And so the angles for this countersink need to be perfect, as well as the other components, where the parts just won't work. They won't fit together.
And 5B is down below there, Joe. You might have to turn it then.
There we go. So you're welcome to impress us, you know, with your ability to 3D draw if you have that. If not, we'll go through and we'll cover some of those bases as well. Okay. All right. If we look under contents, module 5. Dimensioning mechanical drawings. We'll go through these PowerPoints in the lecture. One of them got kind of disconnected, but it's down here at the bottom. We'll fix it later. Here's the models, 5B. Here's the mechanical title block that you'll use. The review questions are bonus. If you want to go through and do those will be the questions from the end of the chapter. And then here's our video tutorials for 5A and 5B. And again, the same content, just in a different location. All right, back to the main splash page, and time to wrap up our 10-minute video. Looks like it's going to be a little less than 10, which I think is ideal. Anything else we need to put in here, Al, about?
No, just make sure what day is due.
Say that again, Al?
Make sure they know what day it's due.
Yeah, so module 5 is due on March 3rd. And then it looks like we've got a midterm that we're heading towards just before spring break. So we've got 2 more weeks, and then you guys can go join us in Florida, and Al will buy the beer or whatever else you want to drink.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a good answer. All right, that wraps up our weekly Zoom meeting. This week we're covering mechanical drawings and how to dimension those. We're going to stop the recording, open things up for questions, and then we'll go through and make another recording of the lecture.